Welcome, everybody. I'm Suzanne Shirley, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and I'm here to talk to you about the slight edge. Now, if you ask me, I'm not giving you a book review. I am giving you something I have become extremely passionate about, which is the philosophy of the slight edge. Believe it or not, I'm really nervous, and that's unusual for me. I'll get into the hang of it and I'll just be fine and I'll be flowing along, so it won't matter. But why am I nervous? Because I am so excited that I found this incredible philosophy. It's like I knew it all along, but reading it in black and white and now applying it in my life and in my business, it's starting to change everything for me. And I think that if it can happen for me, why can't it happen for my team? And that's why I've invited many other teams to join us tonight. If I'm going to talk to my team about something so pivotal, why not invite everybody else to join? So just a quick little blurb about Jeff Olson. Jeff Olson is a founder and CEO of a really successful network marketing company. If you ask me, even though it's successful, Plexus is way better. So I just have to tell you that. I don't compare any company compared to ours. Ours is like second to none. Ours is in the stratosphere, okay? But he is a successful entrepreneur. He's created many different businesses, been very, very successful, and also has created a personal growth and development company that was extremely successful, okay? So I really want you to take some notes tonight. Listen. I hope you turn on your brain, get your little notebook out, get your pencil and your pen, and really, really dig deep and start thinking about some things regarding your life, your circumstances, and the things that you decide to do with your day, okay? Every single minute counts. And with that, what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen. I've pinned my post. I'm going to share my screen because I have a short presentation. It's just graphics only. And I'm going to hide a lot of you. So you're not going to be on the screen. It's just going to be my face. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to see you. My husband is watching the dog right now. And he wants to play. So he wants to see mama. But this is really what I've been so passionate about, just to teach you about the slight edge. What is it? How does one apply it in life and in business? And I think specifically speaking here, if we can apply it to what we do in our business, we all, every single one of us, have the potential to accomplish our goals and our dreams. There's not one person out there who does not have the potential to accomplish your dreams and goals. I am a school teacher. I was by trade. I taught for 23 years. And I saw in each child and each student, I was a high school Spanish teacher. I taught upper level Spanish for years. And the college prep kind, the kind that got them into college with college credits at some point. You know, and I also taught a few years of the lower levels. And I saw in every student the potential to achieve. Why is it that some achieve it and some don't? Yes, we all have natural talents and gifts, but there is something that can separate a person from natural talents and gifts to somebody with a slight edge. And that's what I want to talk about. So I want you to take a look at this graphic. And I'm going to spend some time here before I move on. And I don't want to gloss over it. This is a graphic of your life. I really want you to get that into your head. This is a graphic of your life. Okay? Take a look at that middle part of the graphic. And notice how you have an arrow that's either going to go up or an arrow that's going to go down. Okay? So notice how the line goes straight for quite a while before it starts to turn up. And the line goes really straight before it starts to turn down. Those arrows represent slight edge decisions. Every decision that you make, every moment of the day is a slight edge decision that's either taking you to the better version of yourself, the best version of you, the most successful version of you, or a complete failure and a complete lack of success. Okay, so let's take a look at that. When you're on the way, on your slight edge journey, okay, and you're making decisions, whether it's good decisions or bad decisions, you're making slight edge decisions. Do you see that? You're either making decisions that are going to compound and go up, or you're making decisions that are going to compound over time and go down. The only way to be successful is to have the right philosophy. The slight edge is simply a philosophy. If you have the right philosophy, that means the right mindset, the right complete understanding about what you're doing in your life and how to be successful, then you're going to have the right attitude. When you have the right positive attitude, you're going to have prosperous actions that are going to bring about results. And in turn, as you come along with results, you're going to have a successful lifestyle. Or if you have a poor philosophy, you don't have the right understanding about how to approach things in life, then you combine that with a negative attitude, poor circumstances, with the environment that you surround yourself, maybe just some negative thinking, some negative people, some negative exposures. And then you're going to try to put all the actions that the successful person is putting in, but those actions are not going to breed you any kind of results. They're going to bring you failure. You're not going to ever get traction with your actions. And then, of course, it brings about a really unhappy lifestyle. And lifestyle meaning finances, health, business, personal development, and your relationships. I want you to get this. As a person who's in business, and I think all of us on here are Plexus ambassadors, right? And if you're on here tonight, that means you've been invited by your upline, either me or another jewel, because I shared this with a lot of different jewels and leaders in our companies, and asked them that if they wanted to, they could invite you guys. So I'm assuming that everybody here on the Zoom has a really positive idea of wanting to build their business, okay? That means you are working hard. You have a hard-working mindset. You've been putting in the time, the hours. Maybe you've had success. Maybe you haven't had success. Maybe you've been in just a short period of time. Maybe you've been in a long time. Or you might be somebody who has joined us who's just wanting to check this out. Maybe you're trying to decide whether you want to get really serious with your business. Maybe you haven't gone all in. Maybe you haven't drawn your line in the sand. Maybe you haven't decided what you really wanted out of this, or if this could even work for you. And so if that's you and you're joining us tonight, I just want to encourage you that you can choose as of today, as of right now, to start applying these principles. And that means any of you who have been in a long time, or those who've been in a short time, those of you who are serious business builders, and those of you who are just sort of seeing what this can do for you. All of you can benefit from this. I want you to hear me. About 70% of people, get this, 70% of people in your organization will not even attempt to start this journey. 70% of people will not even attempt to start this journey. You will have quite a big part of your organization, ambassadors, senior ambassadors, and silver ambassadors, and maybe you can even say gold ambassadors, who will be bringing you the majority of your revenue in your business. They're pulling in that volume every single month. They make the money in your organization, okay? And this is the journey all of them are on who are serious business builders. They're literally trying to make this work. They're out there fighting daily. Now, I want you to take a look at that arrow that's all the way at the top. Okay, that arrow that's at the top is your dream. That's your goal. You're dying to achieve it. Okay, and that's where you're always striving to hit. And I want you to just totally get that. Notice how that arrow goes straight for a long time. I want you to look at that straight part of that arrow all the way up to the word maybe becomes. It's starting to kind of get some slight momentum. And notice how the word becomes starts to kind of curve up, but not very fast. And notice around the word comfortable, it starts to pick up momentum, and then eventually, bam, it's like up, okay? That's the momentum of the slight edge. When you compound the right decisions, one right after the other, every single day, the small, seemingly insignificant, really so-called and seemingly inconsequential decisions that you make every single day, those can compound over time, and you will have an incredible breakthrough. The problem with our society today, is that this little graphic right here doesn't make any sense to most people. We live in a microwave society. We don't believe in compounded efforts over time bring about massive, dramatic results. A lot of people are looking for the quick fix. Our customers are looking for the quick fix with their products. Our ambassadors are joining, and they can't believe why it's taking so long for them to get to a certain level when someone else over here is getting to a certain level a lot quicker. You have in our society where you can click a button, and on Amazon, they will deliver with the Prime membership. In a couple of days, you'll have whatever you want at your front door. You know, you no longer have to go to the actual movie theater and buy a ticket. You can purchase your ticket online and not even have to stand in line. In fact, if you don't even want to go to the movie theater, you don't have to. All your movies are at your fingertips on Netflix. You can just click a button and watch a movie. You know, if you want a pizza, click a button, order it, and it's delivered. You don't even have to leave your house for food. And we're starting to have a delivery system for groceries that we can do the same thing. What about if you want to have a date? All you have to do in our society right now is swipe right, and you've got a date, okay? This does not make sense. In our society, we are teaching everybody that you can get something quickly. You know, every time you see something on television, a weight loss commercial, or any kind of a business solution, or a contraption they're selling to get into better health, or a drink, or whatever it is, it's how quickly can you get results? And no one is teaching this philosophy. This is the philosophy of there is no quantum leap. There is no voodoo dust. There is no magic bullet. But what you have is you have simple, easy to do decisions that you can do the things that you need to do that are so easy to do. And if all you do is choose to do them every single day, over time, you will eventually begin to have a breakthrough. How long is that time going to last? I don't know. How long is that time going to take? I don't know. 3 years, 10 months, 5 years, 10 years? You tell me. I can't look into the future and tell you. Every single one of us is at a different starting place. Every single one of us comes from a different background, a different atmosphere, a different upbringing. We have had different challenges and different forces of nature that have been either for us or against us in our past. Okay? Some of us are people of faith, and that helps us quite a bit. Some of us are not. And so you have to understand that all of us are at a different starting point, but we're all on this journey. I want to also talk about looking at the arrow that's going up and the arrow that's going down. That's why in almost every book that you read, how about Noah St. John's The 7 Secrets of Success? He talks about the 2 or the 3 percenters. The 2 or 3 percenters. That's the top of our company. That's where you see on this graphic the 5% success, okay? The jewels of the company, whether they're emerald, sapphire, diamond. You could even look at senior rubies or rubies and call them successful. It's whenever you accomplish the level of success that you're really wanting to achieve. Those are the 5 percenters, the 3 percenters, okay? So, but if you look at the downward arrow, arrow, you're going to see that 95% of people end up in this situation. 95% of people don't get there. And it takes a lifetime to fail. It takes a lifetime to get to that place. You don't just end up there overnight. You have to make negative slight edge decisions to get to that terrible place, okay? The place where there's no other way to bail yourself out when you get a diagnosis because of your poor health decisions, or you're in poor financial situations because of some decisions you've made, or your relationships are falling apart because of some poor decisions you've made, or your children's relationships are not good because of some poor decisions that you've made. I mean, sometimes things happen to us beyond our control. We're not talking about that. We're talking about decisions that each of us makes every single day. They're either working for us or working against us. They are so easy to do. So easy to do that they're seemingly unimportant or insignificant. In other words, if you choose not to do one of these things, it doesn't matter. The next day, you're not going to be in poverty if you don't save $20 this week. Okay? You can choose to not save this week. You can choose to not save next week and the week after, and you're not going to be in bankruptcy court within the next 2 months. But you compound poor financial choices and decisions over time, and you will be in a poor financial situation that will be beyond difficult to get out of, okay, eventually. And that goes in every aspect of this range right over here. I want to also talk about one more thing before I get off of this graphic. The people that are going down on the downward spiral here, they make simple errors in judgment just over and over and over and over again, seemingly thinking that those decisions do not matter, that they can choose to eat that hamburger, they can choose to not save that money, they can choose to not read a really good book, they can choose not to go to church, they can choose to do the things that seemingly don't matter in the time, and they are going to end themselves up in a really terrible situation towards the end. And those people are really, really comfortable during that part of their lives. They're really, really comfortable because, you know, everybody around them is making them take a look at their lives. They're afraid to just jump out of their comfort zone. They're staying really comfortable because, you know, it really matters to them what other people think of them. Others' opinions are really high on the stratosphere of what they think. They let everybody else's opinions dictate what decisions they make in their lives. And, you know, they let other people's choices affect them. They don't choose the right people to be around. They don't choose the right environment. They don't choose the right input and information that they surround themselves with. And those comfortable type ways of living eventually compound into a very uncomfortable lifestyle that is nearly impossible, if not impossible, to get out of. Whereas the people that are living the slight edge principles of going up on that curve, they are making simple choices every single day, doing simple actions that are so easy to do. And because they have the right philosophy, they're choosing to do them on a daily basis without fail. Because they know that over time, if they just get to the edge of their fear and they take a step every single day, go out to the edge of their fear and then take a step every single day, that eventually that uncomfortableness of a daily uncomfortable lifestyle of pushing themselves and doing the things eventually leads to a very comfortable life. A life that gives them everything they've ever wanted. A life that brings them options and opportunities to help people that they've always wanted to help and do things they've always wanted to do and be there for the family members they've always wanted to be there for. It gives them the absolutely life of their dreams. Okay? So if you're uncomfortable now, live uncomfortable now so that you can have a comfortable future later. And then let's talk about the difference between the mindset of the person going up in the slight edge versus the mindset of the person going down in the slight edge. You know, the person going down in the slight edge gets into the blame game. They blame people. They blame their boss. They blame their job. They blame having too many kids. They blame having not enough time. They blame that they don't make enough money. They blame everything and everyone for all sorts of things going on in their lives, and which leads them to neglect doing the right things. So they're neglectful of making the right choices of their life to lead them into a better situation. They blame everything you can imagine for their circumstances. And they also have this sense of entitlement. Like, you give me something and I will do something. You give me a little something and I will do some work. You show me the path and I will go down the path. No, those are the people that have that entitled mindset. You give me a little bit and I'll give you something, but I'm not going to give you anything until you give me. Okay, that's entitlement. Whereas the person on the top, it's moving up the arrow with the slight edge in the positive direction. You know, that kind of person, which is, oh my gosh, this is so diametrically opposed, but that person takes full responsibility for every decision they've ever made in their lives. You know, I've come across people that take responsibility, and I've seen it so often. The ones that take responsibility are the ones that even will take responsibility for some of the really bad things that have happened to them that are seemingly beyond their control. They take responsibility for every aspect of their lives. They're introspective. They look inside. They look in the mirror to see what is going on. They don't look outside of themselves to blame other people, other circumstances, and other situations for what's going on in their lives. They take full responsibility. And they have a discipline that is absolutely so powerful, and it's obvious. You can see the discipline in their lives. It's truly obvious. They are disciplined in what they eat, a lot of the times where they go, who they hang out with, what they're doing, what they're looking at, what they're listening to. And they have a sense of values that they esteem so highly that they have a standard. It's like the word integrity. It's so important to them. In other words, they care about what they're doing when no one else is watching. That's the kind of person that is headed up the ladder in the upward arrow of the slight edge. I really wanted to spend some time on this, and if I have to, I'll come back to this graphic. But, you know, this guy, amazing Jeff Olson, you know, he is, okay, the head of a network marketing company. And a lot of the times he talks, not in this book, but he talks about in some videos that I've watched, about an 8-point system that he has with the current company that he is a CEO and executive and founder of. And he talks about if you just do the 8-point system, you know, every single day, without fail, do the 8-point system, get yourself 8 points, then you will be successful. You're moving in the right direction on the slight edge. So I thought, well, let's go see what his 8-point system is. And I went and looked it up. And I thought, okay, that's their company. That's the stuff they do. What would we do in our company if we were to have so-called an 8-point system? So I wrote it up, and it's really what we see on our IPA sheets. You know, those IPA sheets, they're circling around everywhere we go. They're in different forms and different things that we look at. Some of us buy them online. Some of us have them on a computer, and some of us write them down in a journal or on a calendar. But these are the things we do daily, weekly, monthly in our business. So I just gave it some points. Okay, gave it some points. Now, if you are working a lot harder than 8 points, maybe you want to go for 10 points a day. Maybe your goal is to hit 15 points 2 or 3 days a week and hit 10 points the other 2 or 3 days. So, I mean, it's up to you what you do with this, but I'm just giving you an example. So obviously, looking at these things, I don't need to read them off. You've got them right here on your screen. You can take a screenshot of it. I am going to move on. You can see that at the bottom of the screen, we have a conglomeration of what would actually you would get by the end of the month or by the end of the week if you were working an 8-point system. Okay. This is just moving your business forward using the slight edge principles with your business. Okay. I could make a similar list about working out and being health-minded and eating healthy. I could make a similar list if we were going to make an 8-point system on how to become a person of faith with a strong passion and desire. I could make another system, an 8-point system for having great relationships and exposing yourself to a great environment. You see what I mean? You can come up with a system for just about anything you want to accomplish in your life. But I've got a system right here for you based on Jeff Olson's for his company. I'm going to move on. The first thing you've got to do is understand the curve. And you guys know what the curve is. You just looked at the curve, okay? It either goes up, it goes down. Your actions are seemingly unimportant. Over and over and over you do them. It's the compound effect. Eventually they take a compound. You've got to understand the moment. You must understand that success is built in the moment. You have moment after moment after moment after moment after moment, and it keeps going on that curve, either going up or down. And each of those moments, you have the chance to choose whether to do the thing that's going to push you forward or to do the thing that's going to push you back. Okay? And every time you make that choice, you are facing it and you're looking at it going, this isn't going to matter. It's going to take you down. But if you look at it and you say, this matters, I'm getting this done today. I will not go to bed until I reach out for 30 minutes and get my IPA done. That's the slight edge positive thinker, okay, who understands the compound effect, okay? I want you to hear me on that arrow and that curve. You do not have a future or a past on that curve. All you have, hear me, all you have is the moment. All you have is the moment. And again, it's going to face you every time you're exhausted and you come walking in the door and you didn't do your IPA when you got up early in the morning and you're waiting to do it before you go to bed. We've all done it. You've got your book sitting there and you've got 10 pages that you could read and you're thinking, it just doesn't matter. I can do it later. I can do it tomorrow. And you just say, it doesn't matter. It seems insignificant. The person that's going to go up in life is going to read the 10 pages. The person that's going to go up in life is going to get their IPA done. The person that's going up in life is going to make sure that they surround themselves with the right people. You have no future. You have no past. All you have is the moment. And you've got to get that. You have to understand that your moment is everything. Success is built within a moment. You build your future in the moment. Now think about this. I want to talk about the past and the future. You can't live in the future because it's not here yet. But you've always got the past, and especially those of you who have been really hurt and wounded from the past. You look at the past and you say, well, my past is this and my past is that. And it's the reason why I'm this today, and it really just molded and shaped the way and my attitudes today. But let me tell you something. You can change who you are in the moment. You can change your mindset in the moment, and you can do it in the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. And eventually when you're there up at the top of that curve, you turn around and look at your past and you'll have a completely different perception of it. When you used to think that you're a victim of all those things that happened to you, you won't be a victim anymore. You'll take responsibility. You'll see that you had something to do with something, that you at least take responsibility for some of the things that you did in the past. It's not someone else's fault all the time, okay? You build your future in the moment. Okay, so a person that goes out and purchases a franchise for $500,000 doesn't need to have this philosophy because They're in the moment all the time. They're out there every single day showing up at their job where they have purchased this big, massive franchise. They're in debt. They've purchased it for $500,000. And every single day they're working their rear ends off so that they can get their $500,000 back. They're in massive moments. Okay. They got a moment. They're living it. And they don't need this kind of philosophy that we're talking about. But you guys, us, me, myself, all of us, we need this philosophy for those of us who have not invested $500,000 into a franchise to build an actual business. So you've got to understand the curve. You got to get the moment. You got to get that this is a philosophy. And it's the compound effect that you build over the long term. The things that you do to achieve your dream and your goal are in the moment, and they are so insignificant at the time. I keep saying it over and over again because you've got to understand that even though they seem so insignificant, they're everything. They're everything. It's all you've got. All you've got is the moment. It's all you've got. You build your future and your goal in the moment. You know, nobody's going to be watching you. No one's watching you. You're all by yourself. Think about it. You've got your negative subconscious who's always yakking at you. I don't know what you're thinking. You're not going to succeed at that. I don't know why you're thinking about saying that to that person. They're not going to listen to you. I don't know what you're thinking about doing this thing. You're never going to be successful. It's yakking away. And if you could remove that mind out of yourself and stick it over here in another entity and sit next to it and listen to it and look at that person, that's really you. But that's that person that's negative, that negative mindset that just continues to yak away at you. You'd be like, get out. Leave me alone. Get away from me. I don't want to listen to you anymore. The fact is though that's you. You have to live with you and that negative yakety yak mindset, that thing that just never shuts off, that subconscious mindset. So you're always spending time with Mr. Cuckoo going like this at you all the time. And no one's watching you. And you're all by yourself. You're either on the phone by yourself talking to a prospect, you're driving in your car by yourself, you're at home on your computer by yourself, you're at home in front of the television by yourself sometimes, you're getting up early and you get to choose what you want to do by yourself. So think about this, the scary so-called things that we do in our business, you're by yourself. Even though we are so nurturing in an environment in this company and we love you and we're here to support you, it's so easy not to do the things you need to be doing. So now you need to understand the step. You need to understand the step. The step changes everything. The step changes everything. It changes everything in your future and in your past. Imagine this. The only way you fix your past is when you're in motion. You're in motion. You want to fix something in the past? Get in motion. I want you to really hear that. The plan that you've got will not be the plan that gets you there. What you're going to do, I want to say it again. The plan you've got right now is not going to be the plan that gets you to where you want to go. You're going to take a step and then you're going to learn something. And then you're going to go back and you're going to reflect and you're going to take another step. And then you're going to learn something, whether you succeeded or failed. And then you're going to go and do it again. Take a step, take a step, take a step. You have to understand that step is everything. The step is everything. You take a step, you readjust, you learn, you take a step, you readjust, you learn. It's this process of plan, do, and review. Plan, do, and review. Your whole past and future changes with each step, and you can't even see it. You can't feel it. You don't know, because every time you take a step, you're not at the top of the company tomorrow. If you decide to stop drinking water and start drinking soda, you're not going to be a healthy bum tomorrow just because you decided to drink a soda. If you eat a hamburger, you're not going to be fat tomorrow. It's just so easy to do, to just go ahead and do the easy thing that you don't want to do. Okay? It's so easy to not do the right thing, right? So the step changes everything. The step changes your past And the step changes your future, because every time you take a step, you don't realize that you've moved forward, that you have. It seems so small, but you've moved forward. So it changes everything in front of you and everything behind you, because your mindset is different. Your learned knowledge is different. And these are the things that you can do. You know, successful people master the mundane. They master the mundane things of life. The things they just simply have to do every day. Whether it's with your business, with your health, with your relationships, your finance, your marriage, they master the mundane. They really get a hold and a grasp on the mundane. There's no magic bullet, there's no voodoo dust, and there's no quantum leap. So stop listening to what the world is telling you and realize you can do this. You have the answer. You have the right philosophy, the slight edge philosophy that's going to take you to your goals and dreams. This company is going to be here to love you when you get it done. They're going to be here to nurture you the whole way, whether it takes you 10 months, whether it takes you 3 years, 5 years. You know, Plexus is here to last forever. It's a company of the future. It's going to be here for decades to come. I've heard Tarl and Alec talk about how it's always going to be a privately owned company. You know, as long as they're drawing breath, I don't think anything's ever going to happen to Plexus, because it's just going to get bigger and better every single day, every year. They don't want the company to be purchased from some outsourcing. They don't want somebody to come in and change our comp plan and change the formulation of the products. They're protecting us. We are going to be around for decades to come. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you. Do you hear me? You're in a good place. So just go ahead and embrace the actions of the slight edge. Okay. I want you to understand there's 4 kinds of knowledge. All right. Now, think about it. When you start a new job and you don't know what you're doing, you have a lot of anxiety, right? Your anxiety level is pretty high. So the only way to bring it down and to calm your nerves is to learn some stuff. Go learn a few things and your anxiety will come down. So we're going to talk about learned knowledge and activity knowledge, because that's where you're going to spend the majority of your time, on that line that goes really straight on the slight edge curve. Okay, before you start to go up, your learned knowledge and your activity knowledge is right here. It's back and forth. You learn something and you go do it. You learn from it. And then you go back and you learn some more stuff, and then you go do it. And then you reflect on it, whether you succeed or fail, and you go back and learn some more. And when you go back and you learn again, that learned knowledge has changed because you just learned from doing something. So think about it. They work in tandem together. Learn knowledge, activity knowledge, learn knowledge, activity knowledge, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, all the way every time you take a step. Every time you take a step. It's a big, big deal to understand these types of knowledge. And you start your path today. And when you start your path today, embrace this idea, you're the stupidest you'll ever be today. Because if you keep taking a step down the path and you learn something from it, and you go back and you review and you learn some more, and then you take a step and you learn and you go back and learn some more and you take another step, do you see how you're never going to be the stupidest that you were like a week ago? That's the dumbest you're ever going to be. So you're just going to keep getting more knowledge and getting better at what you do. I want you to get this: 10,000 hours of anything brings mastery. 10,000 hours. But yet we join a network marketing company and we want to be diamond in a year or two. What? Or we want to be emerald in a year or two. That's crazy too. Okay? That's just not going to happen for all of us. It's just not. And we've got to understand that. Okay? We've got to get this. Your life experiences are teaching you things. The step changes everything. You learn with the step. Right or wrong step, it doesn't matter. Right step, wrong step, doesn't matter. You're going to learn. You're going to learn, and you're going to take a step, and when you do, it's knowledge. You're going to gain knowledge. Now, there's a big gap. I'm going to talk about modeling knowledge and teaching knowledge. You're going to go from learned to activity, learned activity, learn activity, learn activity, learn activity, learn to activity, until finally people start looking at you because you're getting some results and you're worthy of being modeled. okay? You're worthy of being modeled now. So you're doing learned knowledge activity, learned activity, learned activity, learned activity, and then, oh, people are starting to watch you because you're worthy of being modeled. And so now you've gained some momentum and some people are following you. And then you turn around on the curve and you start teaching the people coming after you. And you tell them all the things you're doing because you relate to them. You were there. You were there just 6 months ago. You were there a year ago. You know what it's like. And that's when your business explodes. When you hit modeling and then eventually teaching knowledge. I want you to hear me. People want to jump from learned knowledge to teaching knowledge. It's impossible. You can't just learn something and then go out and teach it. You have to go through all the junk, okay? The steps, the failure. You got to get your feet dirty. You got to get your hands dirty. You got to fail your way to success. And then you are worthy of being modeled. And people will start paying attention to you and they'll start asking questions and looking at you and wanting to know how you're doing it. And you can tell them and become the teacher. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I know I'm getting really passionate, aren't I? Mm-hmm. So there's a big gap. There's a big gap. Where is there a big gap? Between the first two. Learn knowledge and activity knowledge. That's the biggest gap because people just want to learn a bunch of stuff and just keep learning it. They want to get ready to get ready. Just keep on getting ready. I'm just going to learn some more. Learn some more. Now, what is learning knowledge? Okay, learn knowledge is listening to team calls, reading corporate emails, getting on some Zooms every single week, getting involved with a team, watching some training videos, doing those kinds of things. Learned knowledge. Activity knowledge is actually applying it. Actually doing the things you just learned about. And that's where the big gap is because people don't want to step out in fear. They're too afraid to go apply the stuff they've just learned. And that's where there's a big hang up. And we've got to get people to step up to the edge of their comfort zone where it's really scary and then just take one step. Just take a step. Go to the edge of your fears and take a step and live there. It's okay. Do it every day. You know, you've heard the phrase, do it afraid. That's what you do. Look, there's no fairy dust. There's no magic wand. There's no silver bullet and there's no quantum leap. There's nothing simple that some diamond can come and tell you, this, if you do this, this, and this, you'll be a diamond. No, it's not going to happen. All you have is the moment. And all you have is the step. You've got to take that step every single day. Every day, you have to take the step. The franchise buyer. Do you think that when they give them the manual at McDonald's, the franchise buyer looks at the manual and says, I'm going to change everything in here? I'm going to do the fries a different way. I'm going to do the hamburgers a different way. No. What they do is they do the fries the way the manual says. They put the fry thing over here. They put the hamburger thing over there. They don't do anything differently than what the manual says because the manual is a proven success model. And they just do it and do it and do it and do it and do it the way the manual says. And by golly, they have a successful franchise. And the guy makes his money back that he invested. I'm telling you, it's the same principle here. Same principle. They want to skip, people want to skip from learned knowledge all the way to teaching and modeling. You've just got to do the activity. You just got to take the step. You've got to do the activity. You're drawing on your dreams. You know, you're on that line that's trying to go up. You're drawing on your dreams. It's at the top of that arrow. You're looking up there and you're thinking, I got to get there. And you're drawing on that. You're working in the moment. Nothing that you do seems very significant at all. It doesn't seem like you're getting anywhere. Maybe you're not even making much money. Maybe you got your products paid for, but you just keep losing people on your team. You don't know what you're doing. What's wrong here? I can't seem to rank up. Nobody's watching anything you're doing, so no one's holding you accountable. It's just you. You're fighting that cuckoo that's going yakety yak in your face all the time, that subconscious, and you're lonely. It's lonely working towards the top, right? Trying to build this thing, it's hard. It's not easy, right? All of a sudden, you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and something changes. People start listening to you. People start looking at you. People start paying more attention to you. You have more attraction. All of a sudden, you see a door open over here. You see an opportunity that was there all the time, but you couldn't see it a year ago. All of a sudden, you're looking at things and people and situations and circumstances in a whole different way. All of a sudden, you have more confidence. All of a sudden, you're going faster than you were before. All of a sudden, in 4 months, you're doing way more than you did in 12 months. Do you see what I'm saying? The compound effect is taken over. And that is the way that you make it to where you want to go. You've got to understand the plant, cultivate, and harvest. People want to plant and then harvest. Remember the microwave society? Click a button, Amazon delivers it. Swipe right, you've got a date. Sorry, doesn't work like that. Our society works against us. They don't want you. Most people don't want to cultivate. You know, you plant a seed, the sun comes out, you water it. No harvest. The sun comes out, you water it, you stand there and you look at it. The sun comes out, you water it, you stand there, you talk to it. When does it come out? When does the seed finally come out and you can harvest? Okay, it takes a while. It takes a long time. But you got to do that cultivation, and most people want to skip that step. There's just no quantum leap. And if you can understand that there's no quantum leap, then you will buy in to the slight edge philosophy, and you will do the simple things, the seemingly mundane, the seemingly insignificant things. You will do them every single day without fail, and you will move forward and become an incredible version of you, someone that you can't even believe who you are a year from now. Okay? You've got to apply these 7 slight edge principles. Number 1, show up. Number 2, be consistent. Those are the 2 big problems that most people can't do. Show up and be consistent. I could give you a couple examples. Oh, and by the way, when you show up and be consistent, you better have a good attitude with it. I started in university before I became a teacher. I didn't plan on becoming a teacher. It's not something I wanted to do. I knew that teachers didn't earn a dime. And so when I started the university at a private university, it was very successful, highly acclaimed private university. I thought, I'm going to be a pre-dental student and I'm going to major in biology. There were, because it's a private school, it was smaller, there were 100 of us, 150 of us, I think, taking organic chemistry. A lot of these kids were the top of their class. Okay, they had lots of structure at home. Mommy and daddy were rigorously there for them. They had a plan that they had to walk down. I didn't take any AP classes in high school on chemistry and physics, and I just decided I was going to be a dentist. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. But what I did have that a lot of those kids didn't have when they got to college, they lost the structure. Mommy and daddy weren't there for them. Okay, these are kids that were the cream of the crop. I was not the cream of the crop. I was sort of in the middle to upper middle. What I did have is I showed up and I was consistent with a positive attitude. I did every single thing I could every single day to get the work done. I eventually had to get a tutor, and it was because I did all of those things every single day. I showed up, I was consistent. I did every problem that was assigned to me. I got myself a tutor. I wrapped my mind around it. If somebody would have told us that we were doing calculus, I think I would have had a nervous breakdown. I'm serious. I have no idea. Didn't even know I was doing calculus. Had no clue what it was. All right. But because of my heart, passion and heart, I got C's. Okay, now are C's going to get you into medical school or dental school? No. Ultimately, I had to change my major. I was trying to shove a square peg into a round hole. It just didn't work, right? But by the time we started our sophomore year, guess how many were out of that 150 left? 15. 15 sitting around the table in this little bitty room, okay? And I'm telling you something, that is because of the slight edge that I was sitting there, not because I was some genius that had the top ACT scores. I worked my freaking butt off, and I showed up, and I was consistent, and I had a good attitude every single day. And that's what's going to bring about success. You don't have to be this brilliant genius, okay? You have to be committed over a long period of time, and don't expect things to happen quickly. You have to accept the fact that this is going to take time, that growth does not happen in a vacuum. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. You have to grow into the rank you're going to be. And if you want to be a certain rank, you've got to grow into it. And that means you've got to fail your way to success. You got to fail your way there. Napoleon Hill says that the top characteristic among the 500 most successful people in the country is desire. You got to have desire. You got to want it so bad, and you got to have a faith that believes that you can do this. Like, this company is the best place to do this. This is the greatest vehicle. I have the most faith that I can get this done. I can see myself there. I know it's going to happen. I don't know how, but I'm just going to keep doing this stuff that they tell me to do. And I'm never going to miss a day. And if I miss a day, I'm going to just get back on the horse. I want to say something. If you miss a day, or even 2, or even 3, like, let's take this in workouts, okay? You're a gym member and you missed 5 workouts. You had something come up that week and you couldn't get to the gym. Do you go back on Monday and do 5 workouts all at once? No, you kill yourself, okay? Go back and do that day's work. Go do that day. Just get back on the horse and do that day. And the next day, just do that day. And the next day, do that day. The simple things. Keep it simple. You don't need to make it hard. It's not hard, okay? I'm going to give you a quote. Jim Rohn said, "Everything in life is easy to do. It's also easy not to do. You choose to just do it. You choose to just do it." Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Do the thing and you will have the power." You know, a lot of people get that mixed up. They want somebody to give them the power to go do the thing. Oh, they just keep waiting around for motivation to come their way, inspiration. Give me some power so I can go do this thing. No, just get up and go do the thing, and you will find the power. You have to do the thing, and then the power will come. Because remember, learn knowledge, activity knowledge. Just get it done. Learn from your mistakes. Watson, the founder of IBM, said, this is one of my last quotes I'm going to give you, but I'm going to say a few more things. The key to success is to double your rate of failure. People are so afraid to fail. What is going to happen to me if I fail? What's going to happen? They're so afraid to fail. You got to just go ahead and fail. Doing something is better than nothing. And every time you do something, good, bad, or indifferent, it doesn't matter. Good, bad, or indifferent, you're going to learn something, because it's called the step. You're taking a step, and you have to believe this philosophy is how you're going to get to where you want to go. Well, let's talk about paying the price. You got to be willing to pay the price. I tell you what, the biggest price you're going to pay is the price of regret if you quit. That's the biggest price you're going to pay. I'll tell you what, sacrificing right now in the short term for the long-term gain, a lifetime of freedom, there is nothing like that. Go ahead, do some sacrificing. Give up some of your favorite shows, give up some sleep. How bad do you want this? 10 pages a day is so hard to do, but you won't wake up early enough to read them. You're making excuses. You don't value the slight edge. You don't realize that at the end of 1 year reading 10 pages a day, you will have read 3,650 pages, which is the equivalent of 15 to 20 books, and you will know more about business, relationships, and finances than you ever knew in your life. And do not tell me that reading 10 pages a day is worthless and it doesn't matter. You don't need it. All I need to do is go out and do the action. Just tell me what action to do and I'll just do the action every day. No, part of your responsibility is to grow your mind and grow yourself. Are you the most snazzy business person out there? No, you're going to have to become a master at it. How do you become a master? By having a mentor. And if you don't have an actual physical mentor in your life, the only mentors you're going to have is in books. So go and get you some good books and start reading 10 pages a day. Finally, have integrity. What are you doing when no one's looking? What are you doing when no one's looking? No one's watching you. You don't believe you're gaining information is important. You don't believe that reading anything is important. So nobody's watching me. I just won't read that today. You only do business and not action. Or sorry, you only do business action and you don't focus on personal growth. All you have is the moment and you're not utilizing it. It's so easy when you come home, you're exhausted, just don't do it. It'll be there tomorrow. In that very moment, you learn who you are. No one's watching you. Do everything with integrity. Don't worry about whether somebody's watching you or not. You don't need a pat on the back to read your 10 pages. You don't need a pat on the back to do your IPA and reach out to the people that you need to reach out to. You want to hear real quick in a little microcosm what I do every single day? I have at least a minimum of 20 connects every single day. I connect with 20 people. I check in on them, see how they're doing. A lot of them are new people. Some of them are people that have never talked to me. I just go in and check in on them, seeing how they're doing, wishing them a good day. That's all I'm doing. And out of that 20, about 3 of them, if I'm lucky, will end up in a conversation. And if I'm lucky, 1 of that 3 will end up within the next 90 days joining me as a customer or an ambassador. And if I'm not reaching out to that 20, then how am I going to get that 1? How am I going to get the 1? I've got to do it every day. That's what I do. It's not hard when you just look at connecting with people and get them into conversation. Okay, I'm winding it down. Hang on. You're only going to get there in the moment. And in that moment is where you find out who you are, what you do when there's nobody watching. That's what integrity is. I tell you what, if you don't like where you're at right now, just go out there and take a step. Go out there and take a step if you don't like where you're at right now. What can happen for you in 5 to 10 years? What do you think? What do you think can happen in 5 to 10 years? You grow, you help other people, you change yourself, you develop yourself, you become a better person, you become a leader. Yeah, you can't even imagine yourself as a leader. You can become one. You don't, all of a sudden, you just are one. That's what happens when you do this. You're so worried about becoming the leader. You just need to do the step. Do the step, do the step, do the step, do the step, and you will be the leader in your own version of your leadership. If you're yellow, if you're blue, if you're red, if you're green, it doesn't matter. You'll be your version of leadership if you just do the stuff every single day. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Never give up. And you'll have the life of your dreams. You can do that. In 15 minutes, I always say, listen to something good for 15 minutes. Read your 10 pages. I already talked about your 10 pages a day. If you think that it's not meaningful to read your 10 pages a day and you don't need it, you're already a positive-minded person, you don't need to learn anything, you are kidding yourself, you are lying to yourself. You are not going to grow and you will sit at the same rank that you've been in. I'll tell you what, you've heard it said 1,000 times, but this company, this profession that we're in, network marketing is simply a personal growth and development plan with a compensation plan attached to it. That's all it is. You've got to take your 10 pages a day. You say, I don't like to read. I don't care. I don't care. Anybody can read 10 pages. I don't have time. It's not a priority then. You have to value it. You have to value the information that's coming into you. You've got to see that over time, that compounding will change you. It'll change everything about you. If you decide not to read today, will it matter tomorrow? No. If you decide to read not even for a week, will it matter next week? No. Seemingly insignificant, right? But if you realize that it is important, that all you have is the moment, and all you have is this knowledge and this learned knowledge right now, and you start doing it over time, you will be an incredible version of yourself, the kind of person you can't even recognize. And that's living in your car every day too. You know, are you listening to the radio on your way to wherever it is you're going? Or are you listening to something positive for 15 minutes? Do you have a subscription to Audible? If you say, Suzanne, I don't have enough money. I'm sorry. Hello, it's a tax write-off. Find the money. Anybody can go down to the library and get a book. Check out a book. And if you don't have the money for Audible, make some money, and then you'll have money for Audible. And then you can write it off on your taxes. You need to be listening to a good book for 15 minutes a day. And if you don't think it's valuable, then you don't believe in the slight edge and you're on that downward curve. I'm just being honest with you. Okay? Drive time. Turn it into a rolling university. Relationships, marriage, health, diet, business, finances, faith. You can change it all. Okay, associations. And look, I'm almost done. Literally a couple more sentences. Who do you associate with? Who's in your life? What are the influences in your life? Are you hanging around positive people? Do you think it doesn't really matter? If you hang around a negative person one day, is it going to change who you are tomorrow? No. It'll probably bug you. But it's the compounded effect of hanging around the negative people every single day and having that influence in your life. It will bring you down, and you will not be able to face your fears. You will not believe in yourself, and you will not step out of your comfort zone, and you are destined for failure. Trust me, you take two people and they both have the same potential. They both have the same seemingly common actions. This one does the action and this one does the action, but this one succeeds and this one fails. And you look back, why is this one successful? Because this person had a positive attitude and a great philosophy and surrounded themselves with positive influences and environment. And this person had a negative attitude, a negative philosophy, and surrounded themselves without thinking that it was very important, all these negative influences. I guarantee you, people can have talent, but what will define them is who they surround themselves and what they surround themselves with. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter where you are right now or what you've done. What you've done, what you've not done. You can start making the slight edge decisions and you can change your life. You can do it. I believe it. I can see it in all of you. There's a lot of you that I know on this Zoom. There's a lot of you I don't know. And I have just now gone for an hour and 6 minutes. So if you would like to jump off the call, feel free to do so. If anybody wants to make a comment or have a question, we have 51 people on the call. Go ahead and unmute yourself and feel free to ask. I'll do my best. Don't all talk at once. Shelly, are you trying to say something? Shelly Saponsky, anybody? Okay, I've got a lot.
Suzanne, it's Susie.
Yes.
There was a part of where we couldn't hear anything.
Yeah,
so I don't know if you were muted or something.
I muted myself. Okay, if anybody wants to talk, just say something if you want to come out and say something or make a comment.
Oh, it was excellent presentation. Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I agree. Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to get through. It was really nice to come back from vacation and have a little inspiration. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so happy about that. Yay.
Yes. I think, Suzanne, a lot of times there's so much self-help out there and personal and professional development, but if you don't have a structure or a basic format to take action, sometimes the motivation and enthusiasm leaves us.
Right.
So I think the graphic is very good, and taking those little steps every day and the compound effect, it was all excellent. Very good.
You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. I see all the messages. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, that means everything to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Does anybody else have a question or comment, anything they want to say?
I just have a quick comment. I love that you pointed out that it was not just reaching out to like 20 people and saying, hey, will you buy this? It is literally 20 connections every single
Yes.
day. And I think that's something people miss so often, is that they feel this pressure of actually reaching out and having to say something about Plexus. But the idea is to continue building those relationships. And I love that you hit on that.
Yes. I mean, if you want a full training on actually how to do your IPA and what to do during your IPA, you've got to get away from that sales approach, guys. This is a relationship business. And if you are constantly just prospecting, cold contacting people about Plexus, that is the fastest way to get unfriended, unfollowed, and deleted. And you will create a line of dead bodies behind you. And what you want to do is focus on building your relationships and warming up your market. Whether it's a cold market, then you can warm that market up. If you got a warm market, you can warm up your warm market. So you want to warm up all the relationships and just have conversations with people. And the warmer you get, the more it's going to come up. You have to be patient. You can't force this. It's not like, but the more people you're talking to every single day, if you have a higher goal of 20 connects, without fail, you're going to eventually talk about your business. You're going to talk about two things, what you do and why you love it. You need to get that into your conversation. Even the person that doesn't ask you about your business, you need to get into the conversation, what you do and why you love it, in a couple of sentences, not dumping Plexus all over them. I'm going to give you an example and then I'll shut up. How are you doing? So I'm asking, hey, Jennifer, just checking in with you. How are things going? I hope you're having a great day. Oh, great. Everything's great here. How are you? Boom. There's my chance. I'm going to say, oh, Jennifer, we are so glad to hear that you're doing well. We are so blessed. I just love being able to work from home and help people with their financial and health goals. It's just really fulfilling. I mean, if you just made a good check and paid off a bill, say, oh my gosh, I just can't believe it that we just paid off a few bills and now we don't have to worry about finances. Whatever, I don't care what it is. I just got off of a medication and I am so glad to feel liberated. I don't care what it is. Say something, what you're doing and why you love it. Share your why with everybody. And that's planting seeds. And eventually it leads you to a conversation where you can mention your business. You can invite them to a 7-day challenge, to an event, any kind of thing like that.
Suzanne, are you doing these in private messages, or
Yes,
are
ma'am.
you just do you just private message somebody, just say, hey, how are you?
Yes.
Okay.
I have 2 or 3 things that I use to check in with people. And Shelly, I'm talking about Teamsy. I learned this from the amazing Eric Johnson.
I know. I watched your thing. Ugh, that was awesome.
Yeah. And if you want to learn some more, you need to get in with me. Eric Johnson, all you people that are on outside teams, you're welcome to join us on that too. Eric's got 1,000 spots, so I will give that to the group as well. In fact, why don't I just promote it right now? Let's see. Share screen. Desktop. I don't see it. Hang on. I'm going to find it. Hang on. Let me find it on my desktop. I'm going to pull it up. Okay. So I'm going to show you right now. Hang on. All right. Here it is. You see it? me manage participants. I've got somebody that's, so on the screen, you see this Thursday, we're going to have a meeting with Eric Johnson, and trying to manage participants here. Mute all. Okay. Eric Johnson from Teamsy. He's the founder and CEO, the creator of this incredible CRM. CRM means customer relationship management. It's an online software. It's not an app. It's amazing. You have to have a computer to use it. It's very simple. I don't want to go into massive detail. Feel free to join us. If you're in my Joel chat and you have team on this, I can share it with you. You're welcome to join us on Thursday night. I know Eric would just be overjoyed to talk to all of you. It's changed everything about my business. I am right now in the second boot camp. I will join the third one with anybody on my team who wants to join me. I know it's expensive, but you know what? It's a 100% tax write-off. It's almost $300 to join a 3-month boot camp. But I'm going to join it again because Sister Friend wants to be really, really consistent and not get off the horse, okay? All right, stop my share. There you go. Yes, Kathy, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, I was going to ask a Teamsy question before you even brought up Teamsy, because you said you make 20 connects per day, right?
Minimum.
At minimum. Are those 20 only prospects, or are they follow-ups? Are they ambassadors, or is it?
Yeah, I do on Teamsy.
Yeah.
Hang on one second. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go open it up. Oh, heck, I'll just talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So on Teamsy, on your dashboard, you've got prospects, customers, ambassadors, and you have invites, and then you have ads. You're going to add, you have a goal that you can set for everybody. So like I have 20 connects reach out goal set. I have a customer reach out of 2. I have ambassador reach out goal of 5. I have, and you can choose whatever you want. I have a invite set at 3. I need to invite 3 people to whatever, to see a video, to come to an event, to watch an online event, to come to a weekly challenge, whatever, an exposure. So 3 exposures a day, that's my goal. If I don't hit it, it's okay, but I'm still talking to people. So my goal is to hit 3, and then 3 ads. So 3 new people that I add to Teamsy every single day. And every time I add someone new, either I meet them out and about, or I meet them on social media or in a group or somewhere. And I always message them and say, hey, Ginger, it's Suzanne. So nice to connect with you via Facebook. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Smiley face. And then I put them on my follow-up thing or my Teamsy thing. I star them. Right now I'm putting new people as a 4 star, so they'll come up every 60 days and I'll reach out to them and say something to them.
Okay.
That's what I do.
I can't wait to see you.
I can't wait to see you next week. Yeah, in a few days, I'm going to go to Phoenix and see her. Yay. Going to hang out at the pool at a resort. Woo.
Okay.
Who else has a question or a comment about anything? There's no dumb question. Don't worry about what it is. Don't worry about a comment. Just say it. Anybody? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so Jean, did you have a question? Unmute yourself.
I think I did, right?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to tell everybody 1 year ago, I would have never in my fabulous dreams would I have believed that I would be making $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah. Never.
You went to a grand. You're making $1,000 a month, and you did it in 1 year with Plexus.
Mm-hmm.
And you're what rank? You're what rank?
Almost senior gold.
Almost senior gold. Almost.
Almost to that cruise.
And she's a retired postal worker. Mm-hmm. Yep. She's working this in her retirement. You know, it can be an incredible residual income for your family. And Jean, it's only going to get better the more you do it.
Let me say it. Jean, the lean machine.
Right.
And we'll see you tomorrow, Susie.
That's right. We're meeting a prospect for lunch.
All right.
Suzanne,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, I'm changing subjects a little bit, but yesterday, the National Sip and See, my team went, Rebecca Pavey had one and it was all going, it was like 25 minutes into it and everything, and then who shows up?
Yeah, I saw online. The
I
corporate
know.
people. Yeah, that was incredible.
Awesome, because Janice, the president of sales and marketing, showed up. John, a coach, and
I was
then,
envious. Yeah. Yeah.
oh my
Did
God.
Chris Pine show up too? That would have been like, oh, I would have been excited.
No, it was so Janice just hired this new gal who's been there 1 month, and she's marketing. There's some really awesome things that are coming
No
up.
kidding. We're going to go international, guys. We're going to be $1 billion company. It's going to be incredible. I keep telling people, we got nearly to 750 million last year, and it was only in the United States. Only in the US. Do you know what network marketing company has ever done that? Zero. None. Okay. We have expanded and built a massive foundation in the US, and we're not even a common household name yet.
Right.
We are here for the decades. Trust me on this. I'm like driving down the street. This is a school that started a couple of weeks ago. Just a few days ago. I'm driving down the street, and I think during this time of year, I'm the most grateful. I'm like crying, tears running down my face, going, how is this my life? I mean, seriously, I'm not stressed out standing in front of a classroom, knowing I'm going to have to work 50 weeks. My feet are going to fall off, and my voice is coming out of my throat. I get to sleep in, cuddle with my husband, see him every day, do a fun team call, talk to some people about their health, and go to the gym at 9 in the morning. What? This is my life. And then go to Maui in a couple of weeks and go see my friend Kathy in Phoenix and lay out a pool when I would have been teaching. Hello. This is the life, guys. It's like build it, build it, build it. Build it. It's incredible. Anybody else want to say anything? It's headed up to 1 hour and 20 minutes now. Anybody else?
I just want to thank you, Suzanne, because you were amazing tonight. I love your energy. It was so powerful, and I just thought it was really awesome.
Oh, I love you. Thank you so much for that. The kudos. I appreciate it. You have no idea what that means to me. Seriously. I'm so glad all of you guys showed up tonight. I will have the recording. It'll be on my YouTube channel. I'll make it public so that you can get it. Just go to YouTube and do a search for Suzanne Shirley, and it'll be there. You can share it with whoever. You can post it on a team page. You can watch it again, whatever you want to do. So, all right, there you go. Love all of y'all, and I will get out the link and the TeamZ thing if anybody wants to join us with Eric. I'll be live. I'll be in Phoenix with Kathy. I'll be sitting in the hotel resort, but I will be on live with TeamZ. That is what's coming on this week. Okay, I love all y'all. Okay, see ya. Mwah, mwah, mwah.